If you hated the dresses, that's one thing. I lead a life where I don't want to be problematic anymore. I genuinely, I just want to be me. Other people's opinions, they're allowed to have them. And as much as that may hurt, people are allowed to think what they're gonna think. Hey you guys, my name is Stella Williams, and today I usually say so excited. I'm happy to be making this video. If you are not familiar with what's been going on in my life recently, if you're not on TikTok, I have been going pretty viral unintentionally. I think you guys know after the last big one I had, maybe like the last big one, sounds like the earthquake, but the last big viral video, I'm a different person, I believe, from who I was 2 years ago. This is not something I seek out. This is not something I do for shock value. And quite frankly, I post stuff like this all the time. And like every time this happens, it just happens out of the blue. So this is nothing that I count on happening, nor at this stage of my life and how old I am now want it. I don't necessarily want the drama that I don't necessarily want the drama that I may get from it now in this stage of life that I did when I was younger. I post what I post for what I post when I want to post it for why I want to post it. And that's literally just to show cute outfits. That is my job. I'm very comfortable now. I'm not living in LA. I don't have like the heightened sense of self and ego and power and events and glitz and like that's not my life anymore. So this is not something, as I wear these sparkly earrings, but that's not like my lifestyle anymore. You know, going to these influencer parties and who am I around and who can I hang around, who can I attach myself with? That's not really who I am. So this is, and I feel like we say this every time too, the most viral I've ever gone. I went viral for the blue dress, which I made a whole YouTube video about and voiced my opinion on the matter. If you haven't seen that, you can find it. It's probably linked down below. And then a black dress too, which was a follow-up to it. And that one was intentional. The blue dress wasn't, but the black dress was intentional. I posted and I said, if you like it, buy it. And that was in response to the blue dress. So that one I will not say was not planned. And actually, that one was posted like 2 days after the blue dress incident and it didn't go viral. And for whatever reason, I flew to Texas the other day. And when I left, it had 1.7 million views from overnight because it was like 180,000. And then by the time I landed, it was at like 3.8 million views, like in a flight. And then now it's like over 5. I think it's more than the blue dress. But the blue dress has been really talked about. So first, I want to say thank you to every celebrity, to every internet personality, to every quote unquote comedian who's spoken up against the issue on Instagram. I've noticed that's where I've gotten a lot, I guess TikTok too, a lot of different support. So more of the celebrity end I've gotten on Instagram, and the internet personality end I've gotten more on TikTok. But every single person with a huge platform, I just first want to say thank you for speaking up on my behalf. Thank you for speaking up for women who look like me. Thank you for speaking up for a community that you're not in. And I just really, you know, we're not solving world hunger here. I say this all the time. This isn't like a life or death, life-changing situation I'm in. I'm just happen to be fat in places that society doesn't seem as acceptable. You know, I'm not curing cancer, but it is very important. It's important for a lot of women and men's self-esteem, their self-love journeys, their acceptance of themselves and body. And if they can just accept their body, their physical, then they can work and love and accept the parts that are in them. So I do just want to publicly say, if you have mentioned, if you have restitched, if you have remixed it, that's what they call it on Instagram, even just simply liking the post, I just want to say that you're appreciated, and I really want to thank you for just publicly supporting my message. Next, I want to talk to the girls who saw this, because this is really why I'm making this video today. I saw so many girls say, you know, I've wanted to be an influencer, I've wanted to be a creator, and Stella, I could never. I'm reading these comments right now, and people are literally like, this is why I will not pursue a career on the internet. I can't handle this. And so today I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I do handle this. I'm not gonna say it's all bad. Obviously, you guys know I get a lot of good out of things like this that happens. You know, I'll get more brand deals, or I'll get to double my rate, or just all the monetary gains of it, but it's not without cost. And I want to speak specifically to the people today who see themselves in me, right? That's why I make the content I make. You know, I make content that makes me feel good, because I want you to know you can feel good in whatever you choose to wear. If you hated the dresses, that's one thing. It's like when people start talking about your body, where it creates issues that I have to speak up on, using my platform to do so. Not because that's what my platform is, it's just because I feel responsibility for every single person in my community. This is my bubble, to be that spokesperson. I'm not anyone's mascot, but I do feel a sense of responsibility to be there for my girls. And that's just what we're doing. A lot of hate. I think both videos combined are almost to 11 million views in the last 2 weeks. There's been a lot happening, and I think I've done very well in holding myself, kind of moving on, not lingering over it, and doing what I do, keeping my head held high. But the hate, it's interesting. So I read hate now. I'm seeing these stitches of these other influencers and these other comedians who are not so nice, and they're making judgments on my body or whatever it is. You look like a surgical glove, and someone stuffed a whale in the plastic bag. This is why we have global warming. Like, there's crazy comments. And if you feel like this is a reflection on you, or you feel like you don't want to pursue what you want to do, I just want to give you some tips of what I've done. So I'm going to keep it real with you. Day one of this happening, when the blue dress first went viral, I think I even mentioned it in my first blue dress video. Day one was hard. I literally called my mom. I was crying. Like, I was just so sad. I just needed support, right? So I let myself have that day, because again, this is not something I seek, that I maybe once sought in my career, like this publicity, this virality. Where's this going to take me? What's this going to do for my career? I'm not there. I'm very chill. I lead a life where I don't want to be problematic anymore. I genuinely, I just want to be me. That's it. I let myself have that first day, and I cried about it, like, oh my gosh, like everyone, like I'm getting attacked, whatever. And then I remembered who the hell I am. And that's where maybe the ego kind of saved. Ego's not always bad. It's, you should be able to control it. But I think that's where I was able to snap back. Like, girl, you've been through this before. And girl, you've been equipped. Literally, God's taken you through this before. And at that time, it wasn't even to the scale that had happened before. So I was like, you've been through this. You've been through worse. And so I think step number one is let yourself feel the emotion. We don't want to move past it. If you feel like criticized, if you feel like maybe a family member is acting some way toward you, or commenting on your weight, or a friend, or a troll on the internet, anyone, I want you to acknowledge your feeling. I want you to know that, hey, I'm allowed to feel like this. And what I'm here to help is help you move past that and remember who you are and who you say you are. So next, after I cried about it, I decided to remember why I posted it, because for a moment it was very easy for me to be like feeding into it. I feel like when people tell you stuff, or you're getting attacked, or you're getting bullied, or you're getting trolled, you start to believe that. Like, is this true? Is this really how I should be feeling about myself? You really just start to believe these things you're hearing. And so one thing, step two, is remembering perspective. A lot of times people's opinions are either projections of their own insecurities, unwarranted opinions because they have nothing else better to do. People have too much time on their hands, or they just want something to talk about, which isn't always a bad thing when you're a content creator. Now, for someone like me, a lot of my hate comments at the beginning came from girls in the plus community, like, you look bad. It's not flattering. I'm a firm believer against the word flattering. I just don't think it's a word that needs to exist. I remember when I first started my career learning about fashion, and what type of dresses should I wear for my apple shape and my hemline, and what accentuates my body? All of that's a really pretty fluffy way to say, what way can we make you look better, to like the style of the terms. Like, if you have this A-line dress and you're an apple shape, it'll bring in your waist. Like, do you see where I'm going with that? It's really just to make you look like a different body shape. That's essentially what that's doing. It's the word flattering is making it more appealing to the eyes of the viewer and who's a viewer society. So I do struggle with that term a lot. I'm pretty against that term, flattering. And that's where a lot of my own confidence comes from. Like, I'm not the typical shape. I am apple shape. A lot of people don't know what apple shape is too. So that's really interesting. I'm gonna make a video on that because that's a big deal. I try to pick the bad things that have happened these last 2 weeks and turn them into education purposes, turn them into confidence videos, whatever I can. Because now, hey, I'm an apple-shaped person with a really big platform now and a really big viral opportunity to teach the world about who we are. And it's not who we are, it's just what we look like. That's the even crazier thing to think about. So I'm seeing it that way. It's like an educational opportunity informative opportunity to teach these people who are laughing at me, literally, like, this is what it means to be apple shaped. And I specifically said that in the video. So it's really, really cool. So perspective, right? Just remember that these projections of other people, if they're like, oh my gosh, I think she looks so crazy, or she looks so whatever, does she not have friends, whatever. Who are you trying to please? You know, those people are trying to please external people. They're not trying to please themselves. I think, and I believe that if you are happy in what you're wearing, if you're choosing to show up in whatever it may be, that's not your problem. And one quote I learned during meditation, I listened to this guy, his name's Kenneth Soares, and he said in the meditation one time, it literally changed my whole perspective on the situation. He said, what others think of you is not your business. Because it's true. We can't control what people think. We can't control people's reactions to things. We can't control people's lives, right? It's not our business to be concerned about what's going on in the minds of others. It's just our business to take care of ourselves, to purpose our, have purpose for ourselves. I believe in God, so my purpose with God. It's not my job to care and cater about what you feel about me. If I walk into my grandma's house right now, right, and I'm wearing that blue dress, she's probably gonna have some thoughts and opinions I'm gonna have to hear, but it's not my job. I mean, respectfully, she's family, so, I've toned it down a little bit. Maybe not the best example, but if I go to Olive Garden and wear that dress, it's not my job to be concerned about the families around or the husbands around or whatever, what they're going through and thinking about my outfit. Your thoughts and opinions are your own. That's what every gossip YouTuber says too. All thoughts and opinions are my own. And let's keep it that way. So moving on. Whoa, Birkin. You amen? She said amen. Okay. She agreed. So next thing I did that was really, really important for my journey is doing my self-love exercises. I developed some new ones during these last 2 weeks that I hadn't used before. There's this couple game named The and I played it with myself to learn more about myself and really be true with my feelings. Like how do we really feel about what's going on? Everything. I just, again, don't want to bypass what I'm actually feeling. But what I noticed is that, like, hey, even though I had that moment didn't stick with me. It was like, another thing I've learned in my meditations is a thought is real, but not reality until you speak it. So you can have thoughts flow through your brain, but you don't have to welcome them into your home until you take whatever's in your mind and bring it to the world. And that helped me a lot be slower in my thought, be more patient with myself, and show myself some more compassion and grace through this whole thing. For example, if I looked in the mirror and I was like, girl, maybe that skin, you should get your skin removal. You look really nasty today. If I ever had that thought about myself, that doesn't have to be reality. I can sit there, process it, and something I like to do is put the positive aspect on it. And that's something I learned from another recent therapist was, how do you just change your perspective? I'm really, really big on that. So instead, you know what? I'm not feeling so great today, mirror. But I'm going to do my best to still love you, respect you, and show up for you today. And I'll speak that out loud. So that way that thought that was in my head never comes to fruition, never comes to life. Another thing I choose not to do is respond to the hate. Again, other people's opinions, they're allowed to have them. And as much as that may hurt, people are allowed to think what they're going to think. You do not need to entertain it. Don't feel like you need to clap back at everyone. Don't feel like you need to say something to everyone. And what I personally choose to do is acknowledge it. Like, I'll read them. I actually don't. Like, once it goes viral and it goes like, millions of views per hour, like, I don't read them anymore because it's just too much to keep up with. And why would I want to do that to myself? Know your boundaries. A boundary for myself is, hey girl, I'm watching stitches of my new friends online being like, oh, the comments. My girls are saying the comments are bad. So why the hell would I go make sure they're bad for myself? I'm gonna listen to the girlies, okay? So yeah, that's what I do there. Next thing I did was planned a photo shoot. That's a lie. So the next thing I did was remember why I posted that in the first place. It wasn't for all of this that ended up happening. It was to just show a cute outfit, to wear what I want. So after remembering my intent and purpose, something else you should do is live very intentionally. My intent of that video, actually, both of those videos, well, the first one, right? So the blue dress video, the intention is I needed to post Instagram stories for Fashion Nova. I have so many due a month. That was literally one of them. It was not to make a statement. That was only ever supposed to go in my story. And I noticed that, hey, this is actually cute. I want to post it to TikTok. Whenever I posted it to Instagram, the whole thing played out, which I'll play for you here. This next dress I'm so excited to show you because I feel like society will tell you because you have an apple you're not allowed to wear it. But as you can see, it covers the apple, so it really is up to you and your confidence to wear it. Click right here to grab it today and show out this summer because it was literally like, click here to shop. That's all that video was ever supposed to be. So remembering my intent was to never even post it to TikTok reminded me who I was. Reminded that they could say whatever they want to say. They could say I'm doing it for the attention, for the comments, whatever. But girl, remember that when you actually film this in this full length video, you're just saying click to shop. It was never supposed to leave the stories. You're true in who you are. So there's that. And then after I did that, I was like, okay, well then if we have this new platform, if we have these new eyes on us, if we have these, resources at our disposal now, what do we do about it? So I decided to plan a photo shoot. At first it was going to be in the DMV, then it was going to be in Los Angeles, and it ended up being in my hometown of San Antonio. It'll be on the 28th. We're doing a photo shoot this week in my hometown of San Antonio. And I specifically chose San Antonio to give my girls in San Antonio my hometown love, right? You always want to give your hometown some love and showcase plus models here who haven't had a chance or felt like they had a chance to make a name for themselves and really celebrate my community. So that's positive. That like literally warms my heart. It fills my spirit with so much love to move forward like that. I don't want to be on here boohoo crying for what? I'm not crying about it anymore. Did I cry about it for one day? Yeah, but it's been 2 weeks. So 13 days, it's been more than 2 weeks, but generally 2 weeks. I've been fine and I really am good. And I want you to know, and I say all these things because it wasn't always like this. You guys have seen when I've gone through this before where I would shut down. I wouldn't post on the internet for months. I'd be ghost. I'd disappear. And I just am past that. And I want to share that I'm past that because you guys have been through it with me and been like, man, I don't know how Stella's doing it. I would have quit the internet, to know that like, yo, she's still here standing today. And then obviously the fun stuff comes. I'm getting the brand deals. I'm getting the financial gain from this, which is really cool. But never the intent, and it doesn't really need to be. Because I'm going to tell you something now. Going viral is really cool, but you really don't want to be seen as the girl with the front butt, right? Like my last meme that went viral. You got to think about image too. Like, do you really? I did. And that's why I calmed down a lot in my content. I was making these wild videos, but now I make them with so much purpose. Like, my intent is not to be like, wild out there, let's get the many clicks and views. It's not. Because for what? Like, why would I want to be that thirsty for the attention? No. I still want to have that kind of content and be fun and engage with my audience. I know what my audience likes, and I connect with you guys when I do fun content. But I've been able to do that in Maryland. I've been able to do that away from all the loud noise, from the shock value, from the how can we, claim our stake on the internet. Like, I'm good. I really am good on the drama of it all. And I'm very happy. And if anything, I'm just so happy at this point that I've been able to be in a place where I can put a photo shoot together and celebrate girls who maybe wear what they want to and maybe get criticized, but they don't have a platform to come on here and say, you know what? This is who I am. I get to be that person for a lot of people. And I don't think I've really sat down and thought about that because I can't, because it'll stress me out because I'll feel the pressure. But I do get to be that voice for like thousands and thousands of girls. And that feels really, really good. And guys, I do have a lot of guys who message me as well. And the DMs I get, I have to consider that too. I've gotten so many DMs of like, girls like, you've given me so much confidence. And because of you, I bought my first skirt, I bought my first crop top. So I have to remember the purpose in all this, right? And that I'm doing good work. Again, we're not curing cancer, but I'm doing my part, my purpose of why God put me on this earth in my work. And that's fun for me. So how do we not become a recluse? How do we not let this get to us and cry in a corner and cry in our bed for weeks on end? How do we continue to eat meals and not skip them? We turn that pain into purpose. If I was feeling sad about it, well, let's go do a photo shoot and get all the girls who feel the same way a chance to roar, to use our voice. That's so corny, right? Roar, but you know what I mean? Like, scream it, like, use our voice. Like, this is who we are. We are gonna wear what we want regardless of what you say. So I think that's the most exciting thing for me. And I don't know, like, these are just moments, right? So this is what people are talking about this week. And, I said this last week, they're not going to talk about it next week. They're still talking about it this week. But these are just moments. Still do me. I'm going to still post my videos of what I want to wear. I'm going to still post my videos of me with no makeup on, chilling on my couch talking to you guys. Like, I'm still going to be me. And I think as a content creator, that took me a long time because I felt like when I went viral, I'd need to like change my whole aesthetic and become polished and have a message and have a voice. I have my purpose. It's cool. And it's okay. And you're doing good and it's enough. So I don't need to do all the extras. So, I'm hoping that you guys see that there's so much love. I think that's how I want to end this. Like, as much hate as I've gotten, not only the people that matter who watch me and support me, but the people who have found my channel now. There are a lot of new people who found my channels now who didn't know about me, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for someone who can represent me. So just choosing, everything's a choice, happiness is a choice, choosing to focus on those people, the new people. Like, I have so many more new people to connect with and meet and say hey to. That's what I love. And I love that it's just cool. Like, it's calm, because when they stop talking and those haters find something else to talk about next week, I'll have a whole new community now of people to connect with and show cool outfits to, or talk about girly things that they never were told, or, you know, what I do for a living, what I do for my purpose. So I have to keep remembering that this storm will calm, and your storm will calm too, and take control back of myself and what my place is on this earth. So I'm hoping that you guys got some relaxation out of this video. And you know, it's all loud and noisy now, but it always won't be like that. And if you're scared to post, do it, and know that you will have a community behind you to support you when you're down, and don't let it get you down. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Love and light. Bye.